Hello and assalamu alaikum, the universal greeting of peace. Welcome to our session here. We are so honored and excited to be part of this Hunger-Free Summit. We have a wonderful, wonderful program ahead for us, so stay tuned. We will be featuring 4 of our partners from all over the country who have beautiful things to share with us. So stay with us. Feel free to drop any questions that you have in the chat. I'll be going over them myself, and hopefully we can get through them at the end. I'll be making note of them. If anything is relevant to any specific session, you can just clarify that and hopefully we can get to them. Other than that, feel free to also privately message me if you have any specific questions or would like us to cover anything specific. We'd be glad to do that. So let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to share a short video of Islamic Relief USA and give you guys some more insight on who we are, who this organization is, what we do, and the kind of work that we do and how relevant it is to the summit. So let's go ahead and start with our first video, Islamic Relief USA and our domestic work.
Sama, if you'll stop and if you'll end your share, I'll be able to share the video.
All ready for you, Heidi.
Hold just a moment, please.
This type of relief really is a big help to myself and my family.
And it's real nice, and to see the outcome of these people coming outside to get food because they really need it. Some of these people don't have food for real.
Everything helps out a lot, and we really appreciate it. I'm so thankful to have that y'all have this program for us.
It gives people hope. Y'all blessing me will help me give to somebody else.
I want to thank you with all my heart for what you have done to me, to my sister, to everybody here.
Well, thank you. I'm so appreciative, at least for my grandbabies. I was just leaving out, and I was like, let me stop and say thank you.
Just keep up the good work. We need y'all. We want y'all to keep coming out here. Just keep doing what y'all doing for us. We really thank y'all. This is unbelievable.
Beautiful day. Thank you so much. Can't thank you enough. Got good food.
It's just a blessing all around.
Thank y'all very much. This food will come in handy.
The food is nice, very nice. Thank you so much.
Praise be to Allah that we got these people just giving us this meat for us to enjoy and to nourish our body.
Alhamdulillah, thank you. Thank you very much.
May Allah bless you and your family, and I thank you very much because I really need it.
It's a blessing. It's truly a blessing.
A bunch of love. And this was a bunch of love when people come together and help one another, I believe.
Thank you. Thank you for playing that video for us. I feel like it was a little bit choppy, but just so that I can kind of clarify about Islamic Relief USA. Islamic Relief USA is a non-profit organization who provides relief and development regardless of gender, race, or religion. And this organization, I have been part of Islamic Relief USA myself for about 2 years now. And what I find so beautiful is that it really, really works. We really work to empower individuals. And what we're going to be focusing on today is food security, since this is the Hunger-Free Summit. Besides food security, there are other ways that we are able to help communities have a voice in the world and on the larger realm. And so we would like to begin with our first panelist for today, who is part of an organization called Sabil. Sabil is located in California, and we've partnered up with them on multiple occasions. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Summer Aziz. Summer Aziz is actually a co-founder of Sabil, which is also a nonprofit organization, which is dedicated to help underprivileged, homeless, and refugee populations, specifically in Orange County. And Sabil began as a grassroots organization and wanted to donate coats and blankets to the less fortunate in the winter. And so now Sabil is home has a home of a very nice facility. Actually, I visited myself, where there's a food pantry. There's like a healthy food pantry, and also there's a thrift shop in there, which was super cool that I saw myself, which has affordable clothing and necessities to bring back dignity to those who are in difficult circumstances. So Summer Aziz, it's all yours.
Thank you, Marwa. Thank you, everybody, and welcome to our event today. And I'm honored to be one of the panelists speaking. And I would like to start out, I think Marwa already introduced about Sabil, and think I have 12 minutes, so I'll definitely, I'll share a lot of my slides. However, a lot of my talk will really be about hunger and the work that we've done, the innovative work that we've done for the COVID period and how to get to the food to our families. Do I have the slides, Marwa? Okay, we'll go to the third slide. Okay, so we're going to be talking today about the 3 goals. One is the innovative ideas that we have with Sabil, how we've transformed our food pantry to make it into a drive-through, and building relationships and partnership with other organizations. And finally is the cultural competencies that we added to really make sure that we can work with everyone during this pandemic. Next slide. Okay, we talked about the overview of Sabil. Sabil is really, we are one, like Marwa said to me one time, we're one-stop shopping. So when somebody comes to us for food, we really look at the whole person and to see what else they need. So we really like to look at it from the Maslow effect, is really looking at food and shelter to be able to help them achieve the healthiness that we want them to achieve. Next slide. Okay, we talked about the innovative solutions, building partnership, and addressing increased community needs. On innovative solutions, what we've had when the pandemic hit back in March, it was a big shock. I'm a pharmacist, my husband is a pharmacist, so we knew that this COVID-19 will be lasting for a long time. We had to be able to improvise and innovate, and what we have done, we built relationships with a lot of the churches that come around, with the Sikh community, with the other Muslim communities, and people around the different parts of the country to be able to see what they were doing. We switched our pantry from being able to go in and shop with a shopping cart to drive-through. And drive-through was very different for us because we had to buy a forklift to be able to get food for our clients. And food at that point was scarce because everyone was trying to get food at the same time. So we partnered with a lot of the produce companies and produce farms to get their excess food since restaurants were closing. Also milk. As we all know, milk was being thrown down the drain. So we partnered with a lot of the, I think it was farmers, and we were able to get 60 gallons of milk that we can distribute and give out to our clients. What we found is resiliency for both Sabil's volunteers and for our clients, that they were patient and they were able to find out, to be able to get food from different areas. The other thing that we wanted to do is also build relationships with our restaurants and work with them to get home-cooked meals for our elders, for our disabled, for our single moms with children, and for even our clients that became COVID restricted. So all of these efforts together, by working with Islamic Relief. I remember the first time that we got our food pantry was really a grant with Islamic Relief. So we can always call Islamic Relief for support at any time. The food we found here, it was very plentiful. We're able to get food from other resources, and we used our own resources to help each other to get food. We've used our client base that wanted to help and volunteer to deliver food to the organizations. The other thing that I wanted to touch upon is really the cultural competencies. We have people that come and speak different dialects. And so we have people on our committee that speaks different dialects of Arabic. We also have Pakistani, we have Afghani, we have Iranians, and we have Spanish. So thank God we have people on the committee who speaks these different languages to build relationships and to make sure that our families feel dignified and feel that they can ask us for what they're looking for. People have wanted to come and mobilize and work with us because of the fast acting methods that we use to be able to package things. We're able to give them easy, and we were able to give them different recipes, because what happened is different foods were coming in that was outside the cultural of our community, whether the Spanish community or whether the Middle Eastern community or the Vietnamese community. So we included different little menus to be in the box to help people know what to cook with those different areas. We've also went to tutorial and went to Zoom conferences to educate people on the COVID and where to get food. So besides Sabil offering food, because we offered food 3 times a week and we did weekly distributions, we also advised them of where they can get food from in the different areas. Second Harvest was holding food in, I think in the Angel Stadium, so the huge stadiums, and we partnered with them. We partnered with the mayor of Irvine, we partnered with the mayor of Tustin to be able to circulate and move around and make sure that food gets to the people, and it's healthy food and nutritional food to get to the people. We made sure that the kids that were home from school, that they had snacks, that they had sandwiches, that we had milk, we had dairy products, we had healthy food for our individuals. I think we've increased our partnership from 5 partnership before COVID to 15 partnership with COVID. And we found really that the synergy of working together with the community elevated the level of food that we were able to give to people, and the resources that we all advised each other on where to go to get healthy fruits and vegetables from downtown. We had trucks that would go to downtown, that would go to Riverside, different places to be able to get the fruits and vegetables like the broccoli, the celery, the onions, the tomatoes, the what was it? Just different fruits and vegetables that I wasn't even aware of that were introduced to us during the whole thing. Watermelon, bananas, parsley, cilantro. We were getting so many fruits and vegetables that were very valid. And the innovative ideas that we've shared, if anything that was left over, we've contacted farms to see if their animals can use the fruits and vegetables that we have. So we really built our partnership framework based on identifying our problem, offering solutions, and creating an impact that makes a difference. And right now, at the last food distribution, we've offered food for 500 people. 500 families. So if you really calculate 500 families by 5, you're talking about 2,500 lives that we've made a difference in with the pandemic. And as the shutdown for California starts again, we know that our food distribution will be going up, and we'll be distributing turkeys for Thanksgiving for our families to be able to use. And Marwa, would you like to show a video here?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and show Sabil's video.
I'm sorry, that video is unavailable.
Oh, it's unavailable?
Correct.
Okay.
Apologies.
Okay. No worries, don't worry. We can definitely move on. Okay, the community needs, there's one of the slides, I think it's on number 19. And the slide number 19, it just shows before the stay-at-home orders, we were getting around a couple of hundred people getting food. And in March and April and June, our numbers spiked dramatically. Yes, the slide shows our partnership with everybody that we worked for to increase our numbers of food distribution. Since we couldn't really be at different places, so we partnered with Baytullah, we partnered with the food finders, we partnered with the Latino communities, and we shared food with each other to find out who has the distribution, who has the soonest distribution, and we would give them the food. The same thing they did when Sabil had a distribution, is that they would come back and give us food to be able to share during our distribution. And what we're finding now, when the COVID started to go down, and the number of vendors that are out there distributing food, that I think our families are very comfortable. They're at peace. I think they're at ease knowing that there isn't a shortage of food. And so you can see from this graph how the spike of food went up from March, May, June, and it's slowly going down. And the reason why it's slowly going down, I believe it's really due to the number of food companies and food nonprofit organizations and Second Harvest, and everybody making an effort, churches, mosques, making an effort to feed people. So we'll go to the next slide. The overall services that we're seeing, again, spiked, and people were afraid and fear. And when you go to fear, you look at safety, you look at food challenges that you can have. And now I feel, after all the support that we've given our community and the messages, the text messages we sent out to everyone that we're here, if you need anything, text us, let us know what you're going on. So we're seeing a reduction of the scarcity that people are having and the more comfort that they're going through. So we'll go to the next slide. Just a couple of things that Sabil also works on is mental health, working at the whole family to be able to support them during their financial needs and during their hunger. Our main concern is really making sure the families have food and making sure that we're providing healthy food for the families to be able to avoid diabetes and weight gain for the people. Our testimonials is really, our clients are very happy. They're very satisfied. They're always praying for us that they're getting food and it's accessible and we can even deliver to them. So that's all that I have to say. Thank you very much. And do you have any, I'm available for questions and answers.
Thank you so much, Summer. That was great. So insightful as to what Sabil is doing and all of the great work. I saw it firsthand myself, as I mentioned before. So just wanted to give a reminder. I also wrote it in the chat that if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the box and hopefully we'll get to them at the end of the session. So let's move on to our next panelist. I'm also very excited to introduce to you guys Imam Hassan Amin. Imam Hassan is actually the founder and executive director of the Muslim Social Services Agency of Baltimore City in Maryland. And he's really someone who does all of the heavy lifting for the organization. Mashallah, whenever I talk to Imam Hassan, he is someone who is on top of his game and really knows how to attend to the needs of the community and so very well connected. And the organization itself, Muslim Social Services Agency, has helped over 90,000 low-income and homeless families and individuals connect to social service needs. He himself, he has a master's in social work and also is a licensed social worker. So without further ado, Imam Hassan Amin, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate being one of the panelists. I'm guessing you control the slides. And so if you can go to the first slide, I get right into it. Okay, so let's get going. And so last year, the last quarter, which is October, November, December, we were only serving 15 families a week. But then the first quarter, which is January, February, and March, particularly in March when COVID really spiked, we are serving 45 families a week. It's really spiked up and it's growing almost weekly because a lot of people are losing jobs and the like. A lot of access to social services was limited because a lot of social services organizations or the offices were closed because due to the COVID crisis. And a lot of schools are closed, meaning that a lot of the children would not have access to food. They would get their breakfast in school, they would get their lunch in school, and sometimes even get their dinner or even get food on the weekends. But now that is not available to many of the students. Some of the breadwinners in the household, they became sick, and so they're not even able to provide, and out of work, and so they're not even able to provide any food to that household. And we had a situation where some children went to their equally poor neighbor asking them for food. I'm going to get back to that story later on. It's kind of a teaser for right now, so you hang in there because I'm going to get back to in their story in the moment. And so right now, people are hurting and they're hungry. We don't know how long. I have no idea how long this virus is going to last and be around. So let's prepare for the worst and think beyond the present crisis. We go to the next one, please. And so we're going to get into some of the things that we've been doing since the COVID crisis. And these, matter of fact, a lot of this has need to be updated because right now we're giving out at least $70,000 worth of food gift cards to needy families. Really, that's around 120 so more since I wrote this particular presentation up. More gift cards to families and children. We're giving out 12,000 tons of rice. All of this, I have to give props to Islamic Relief. They're not paying me to say this. I'm just saying it because Islamic Relief, they're the main ones that are giving us the money for the gift cards. They're the main ones that give us the money, the rice. And also they're the ones that donate the masks. We have 5,000 masks that are given out to the people. Probably up to about 6,000, 7,000 now have given out to people. Islamic Relief also they gave us 2,000 pounds of fresh meat to give out to the people. And Islamic Relief also gave us 662 hand sanitizer, but that is really around 700, 800 now since I wrote this up. We've been giving out hot meals to people and also to our fresh vegetables and fresh fruits and vegetables to the people. We go to the next one, please. We've been doing this for a while, and this is my little cuties there. Again, from Islamic Relief, we partnered with Islamic Relief, and it gave us about $20,000 in order to give food gift cards to the children, like Subway gift cards. They were $10 each. Subway, Burger King, McDonald's, and also Chick-fil-A. And so these little cuties you
Imam
see right here.
I'm sorry to interject while you're speaking. Your volume is a little choppy, so it comes in and out. Maybe if you have a headset or if you move a little bit closer.
Okay, I'm sorry about that, folks. That I'm chopped up. I can put my headphones on. Is that better? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay, let's, then I can move on. Sorry, folks, but it was a little choppy like that. Okay, and these little cuties that you see right there, they're from a local daycare center. And so we gave out food gift cards to them. They came every day for about a month, getting food gift cards from my from us that gave out to them, make sure they had something to eat for part of our summer program. We go to the next one, please. And these not the little cuties older. These are just some local teenagers who go through the community and they clean up the community for about 3 hours, on a weekend, on a Saturday and a Sunday. And so I went to them and we gave out food gift cards to them. They really appreciate it too. And of course, $10 a piece, and the same type of food gift card. A food gift card we gave to the youth. We also give to the younger youth. We also give it to these older ones too, and they really appreciated the fact that we gave those gift cards too, that they can have something to eat. We go to the next one, please. Okay, now here I just want to mention just a few stories. And that is, I mentioned about the kids earlier that went to their neighbor asking for food. And so what happened is the neighbor who was equally as poor as the kids, they did split their food with them. But we have to keep in mind, if you have $1, you get 50 cents for yourself and 50 cents for someone else. If you have a piece of bread, you split that bread in half and give half for yourself and half for someone else. So that's what this neighbor did. These kids came to the house, knocked on the door. They didn't know why the kid came to the house, and they asked. They said they were hungry, and they came to the house begging for food. I believe it was about 5 youth. And so the neighbors shared half of what they had with those hungry youth. Matter of fact, those youth came to me during the time we were giving out the food gift cards, and we gave out. As I certainly gave them food gift cards. I gave them a couple extra ones just to make sure that they would have something to eat. I want to also mention, even when people came to get something from us, it's like we're in this together. And so what happened is that we will offer some of the people in line, because we had extra food, we would want to give them something extra. And so they would say to us, no. This is enough what you gave me. Save the rest of it for someone else. And so that's the beauty of it, of this whole thing. People are hurting and they're hungry, but they're not afraid to share with someone else. Now, this is what this thing is all about, because we're in this together. Each and every one of us, we're in this thing together, so let's act like it. And so let's share with the people who are in need. If you have $1, give 50 cents for you and 50 cents for someone else. You have a piece of bread, have the bread for you and have the bread for someone else, like that neighbor did. And like these people who are in line, we want to offer them more. They said, no, this is enough, give it to someone else. We also had some of our beneficiaries, they come to get food for themselves, and they said, can I please take some food for my neighbor, or for the elderly, or for my handicapped person who are shut in, or for the sick person? And so we said, no problem. If you take this extra food for them because they're not able to come, they get the food, go ahead, no problem, take the food for them, and may God bless you for what you're doing, getting something for yourself and not forgetting other people. And we all have to check on our neighbors and make sure that our neighbors are okay, but they may not say it. And so we had to check and make sure, are you okay? Our elderly, shut-ins, or whomever it is, because they may not say that they're okay unless you ask and they say, I am hurting, I need help. We go to the next slide, please. So I want to mention just a few possible solutions, some creative solutions that I have. One that's not on there is I think that we should have a 24/7, kind of like what they call Grub, I think it's Grubhub, where they deliver food to people. And so you can have which is not on here. I just want you all to note this. You should be taking notes. And so when people will call and say 24/7, they say, I need a bag of food, a bag of canned goods or non-perishable items. And so they make a call and then someone delivers food to them 24/7. Because we had to be creative. We had to think outside the box in order to help people. Because thinking inside the box obviously is not enough. People are still hungry and people are still hurting. And so they think outside the box and creative ways and ways to help people. I also mentioned here about grassroots organizations. We're the ones on the ground. Like Sabil and my organization, other organizations, we are the boots on the ground. We are really the first responders to hunger. And so we need others to help us and to donate to us so that we can help other people. And if you have, for example, COVID funding, so we can have to be able to take care of COVID needy people. So this thing may be around for a long time. We're just going into the second phase. It might be a third, a fourth, a fifth phase of this thing in the United States in particular. So I want to move on because I know that my time is running out. And so we should also have a truck that delivers food to the people. She skipped to the next one, but no problem. And so thank you. And so I just want to mention have a truck to deliver to people food to them. Just go where the people are and deliver the food to the people. And so I'm going to go to the last one because of the fact that my time is running out. And this is sort of a hint to Islamic Relief, and that we can have what is called an open supermarket. Have the name is something Islamic Relief / Muslim Social Services Agency free food supermarket in food desert areas, like she just put up for me right here. And this is right here. Just imagine, for example, that you give a person a bag, an empty bag, and tell them go ahead and shop, and everything in it is for free. Fill that one bag up, and then go home. You need more food later on during the week. You come back later on and get some food. You have to steal food. You have to beg for food. You can go inside our supermarket with dignity and take what you want instead of us giving you what we have. And so I think that's very important to give dignity back to the people so we can establish a free food supermarket. People give up just minimum food. That's enough to last from check to check, from paycheck to paycheck. Not something they're going to take care of their food all the time like that. No, not that kind of thing. At least make sure that everyone eats, that children have something to eat, that families have something to eat, that everyone has something to eat, and we can put a real dent, a serious dent into hunger, particularly in America. And we cannot be afraid to do so and think outside the box and put our dollars together and establish something like I'm talking right here, which is a free food supermarket. And so I think my time is up, and we can go to the last slide, please, which is, of course, the thank you. Thank you very much, and you all have a pleasant day and stay COVID safe.
Thank you, Imam. I mean, that was awesome. Just you sharing all of the wonderful, wonderful work that MSSA does. It really gives perspective to our jobs, really. Myself, working at Islamic Relief USA, just seeing all the work that goes in to the community and what our partners do is really, really helpful. Kind of, gives us insight and aligns us to, why are we working these long hours? What are we doing? What is the end result? So I really appreciate everything you shared with us. It's really wonderful. Let's move on to our next panelist. We have here with us today Anna Powell and Tanya Granger, who are these two wonderful ladies right here. I feel like besides working together, they're also friends because I had a little conversation with them earlier today and in the past, and they're just so full of life, and I love it. Just real quickly, Anna is actually Anna has a vision to help others living in at-risk areas in Texas, and she founded Purple Hearts to fulfill this mission. The organization serves children and seniors on a daily basis. And then we have Tanya, who was motivated to create a change within her community to help individuals also in Texas. And the organization FJV operates food pantries and feeding programs that serves more than 1,500 people. So you can tell they're doing awesome, wonderful work. Without further ado, the floor is yours, guys. I should say.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for allowing us to be able to serve as a panelist on here. I am Tanya Granger.
And I'm Anna Powell.
And we network together. We're about an hour away from each other. And we actually, because we do the same type of work in the state of Texas, we actually would always bump into each other. So we said, why not actually combine partnerships and do things together?
And work together.
Can we go to the first slide with the bio for? Okay, that's me. About 10 years ago, just to give you a visual snapshot and give you an idea about FJV Foundation, which stands for Family Joint Venture Foundation. About 10 years ago, it laid on my heart in reference to it just wasn't enough being done in my community, as well as I'm near a rural area, which is Corsicana, Texas. So long story short, in rural areas, sometimes they feel like no one cares. They've just been forgotten about. So we actively started. I didn't know what I was doing when I first started. Long story short, to this day, we feed about 1,500 children every single day. And since COVID, it has even gone a step further. We have food pantries, we have 2, as well as we work with the veterans and senior citizens. So as COVID has hit our country by storm and surprise, we are stretched thin, but we love what we're doing. And again, without Islamic Relief and partners that we have, we could not do this. And to show you a little bit about what we do every day, I have a video that I would like to share with everyone. Next slide, please, and then the video.
If it's okay with you guys, we'll hold off for the video just for a few minutes.
Okay.
You guys can continue.
Marwa, we have the video queued up if you want it.
Awesome.
Oh, let's do it.
Well, that was a little snapshot. We like to think of ourselves as a superhero.
So with that being said, I'm Anna, and I pretty much do the same thing, Purple Hearts, Inc. We reside in Fort Worth, that's Tarrant County in Texas. And I started off with working with senior citizens. And I saw a need for seniors to be fed because they're always the last to get everything. So when I started looking into how to feed seniors, I was approached by a panelist of people and asked, why don't I feed children? So that's how I started out with filtering the food through to my seniors, is feeding children. And now we feed children 365 days a year, every day, suppers, lunches during the summer. And the seniors, we do a mobile food pantry for them. When COVID hit, we started also feeding families. So now we are into feeding everyone, and there's a need for everyone. What we do is service the working poor, and just because they are working, that doesn't mean that everything, they can't afford everything. So the food supplements that we give them helps out a whole lot. So I also have a short video for you to watch so you can see what we also do.
Okay, next we're going to talk about the benefits of working together as a partnership with both Anna and I. Next slide, please. What are the benefits of working together? First of all, we all know COVID hit us all, it's turned our country upside down. And with Anna and I both having the same mission in mind as far as making sure that we improve the quality of life for those people who really are just needing additional help. So it really does allow us to be able to do more because we're able to decrease our administrative and operational costs when we do events together. Again, we're an hour away from each other, but yes, we still have the same mission. So by us networking and partnering together, we're able to improve our range of service, and we can piggyback off each other in regards to resources that are available when our clients come to us. If we're not able to help them, networking within our community with other nonprofits, local churches, allows us to give participants and individuals in need what they are looking for. If when they don't have the answers, we can work for them. Next slide. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we're just pulling all of our resources together to feed even more.
This one about building community corporate partnerships. Again, with COVID, before, we're kind of small, even though we feed 1,500 kids before COVID each, 1,500 kids a day. Now we're feeding additional everyone. So everyone, since we've been in the community, really leans on us for support. And we've had to be creative, and with us not being able to do face-to-face and with social distancing, we've had to kind of step up our game.
Yes.
And we're utilizing 211, which is awesome here. It allows us to have our services that are available for those who can either, if they don't have a computer, they can dial 211, put in their zip code, and it allows them the capability to see what services are available in their zip code. Then also Anna does a lot with working with first responders.
So what I have done when we work together and do mobile food pantries is we bring out the National Guard as volunteers to help pass out food. The police department comes out, the fire department comes out, and we all hand in a helping hand, lend in a helping hand. With that being said, because the country has, gone from bad to worse with all the Black Lives Matter things that's going on, what the police department here have been doing was coming out, lending a helping hand, putting food in the trunks of people's cars, talking to the kids, just networking with everyone.
Another thing also, again, our corporate sponsors, by receiving sponsorship, it does help. But everything right now, we're in such a trying and difficult, challenging time. When we've learned with the sponsors, of course, everyone's busy. But because sponsors are helping us, we need to reiterate to our sponsors that the work is being done. And Islamic Relief has shown us the essential benefits of that, because with them helping us and allowing us to help others by their donations and contributions, we're able to share videos, footage, photos to let them know that we're actually very appreciative, and we're putting in the work every day.
Absolutely.
The next slide, please. How to manage and overcome challenging times during COVID-19. You want to discuss this?
Yes, in working together. So what we have done was coming up with a plan to gather the meals without congregating with each other. And so we have learned how to package meals, especially for school-age students. When we're feeding the kids, we're doing the grab and go and pre-packaging them. We have also gotten with our first responders in home delivered meals for people that don't have cars. We would leave them at the door, like Grubhub. The what?
The hygiene kits.
The hygiene kits, yeah, along with the hygiene kits, hand sanitizer, masks, the whole 9 yards. If senior citizens are calling and they can't get out, They do the same thing we have set up with mandating phones. So when they call in, they tell us what they need. We take their address down, phone numbers down, and send our volunteers out for home delivery for our seniors also.
Next slide, please. This slide here particularly talks about the direct door-to-door service. So instead of the face-to-face, those like Anna mentioned, who are not capable or do not have that transportation, we then go that extra mile in making sure that our senior citizens, our disabled veterans, that whatever zip code or zones that we're in, because we cover about 21 zip codes combined in different counties. So we make sure that we have a team that's set for those certain zip codes to go out and deliver those hygiene kits, hand sanitizer, food to our senior citizens and veterans and those who are not able to get out.
And we get everyone involved. Football teams, key clubs,
the neighbors.
Yes, neighbors. Like I said, first responders when they're going out. Also, it gives them the opportunity to check out the neighborhoods, what's going on, keeping a close eye out on neighborhoods, neighbors working together.
Neighborhood watch, for example, and one of the neighborhoods that we have for the neighborhood watch, if there's, let's just say Candle Meadow, if we have our list with Candle Meadows and we know that there is 25 seniors in that particular community, we'll have a youth who has that volunteer, even though it's social distancing, that youth will make sure that that volunteer gets that product. We then deliver to those homes within that certain community, and we just hand deliver it on the porch and let them know that it's been dropped off. Next slide, please. How to address the needs in our community and workplace during the pandemic. We've had to get very creative.
Yes.
It's a difference when you go from, we're always busy every single day and people are pulling at you, and we're doing something that we love, but then it becomes not normal, or this is our new normal now, or now we have to go in and we have to implement and create new policies, safety standards, so we can be careful to ensure that we're able to continue doing what we're doing. So that requires, just like the country, we had to be very careful or not have as many volunteers, or people are scared to volunteer as they were before because of COVID. So when you do have a certain handful of committed volunteers, we have to make sure that we're doing extra cleaning. We have to make sure that they're washing their hands even more so than ever. Putting money as far as going into buying cleaning products. There was a shortage at one time, and making sure we're disinfecting. And it's just so much that comes along with our new norm that we're learning every day. But safety first, but hunger doesn't take a break. We still have to go out and ensure that our community is served.
And we also reiterate policies that have been put in hand by the governor of your state or the mayor of your city, the ISD, the school, the school district, and also the people that are our sponsors, like Texas Department of Agriculture. So we have guidelines to follow, and we also let everyone that we serve know that we have policies and guidelines to follow also.
Next slide, please. Here we talk about social media. Again, it's a great way for everyone to stay connected, even though we're physically separated. And I'm 50, about to be 51, and I'm not as savvy as I used to be on the computer because I'm out in the community every single day, and so I'm hands-on. So when COVID hit, it required me to kind of stay in, and the volunteers that we normally would have that would do the behind the scenes on social media, we don't have those volunteers anymore because we have to be extra safe. So social media is a great tool. We're able to use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter in reference to saying, this is where we're going to be, 211, this is the site location, you can come and get these services out here and so forth. So our organizations have actually grown and have the ability to reach even more in the community.
And we still use email and the phone.
Next slide, please. This is near the end. How to have an impact in your community, and continue to provide support during these challenging times. Again, hunger does not take a break. We say that all the time. So we can't. So we have to be creative and assign a team to make outbound calls to local stores, corporations, our sponsors. They don't know unless we actually tell them this is what we need. So we make sure that we're posting videos, we're posting photos. We are very mindful of the privacy because, again, when people are coming to us, sometimes they're embarrassed, they're ashamed. We make sure that we let them know there's nothing to be embarrassed about. We all need help. And we've always really been very proud of what we do, like the red carpet event, I guess you could say. You can come to us for anything and we're here to help because
that's what we do.
That's what we do. If there are any
questions. I told you guys they were fun.
If there are any questions, let us know. Oh, this right here is our contact information, and Anna and I have partnered. Islamic Relief was out last Saturday. We opened another food pantry called the Stockpot Pantry.
Yes.
In Corsicana, Texas. And it's amazing, guys. It's amazing. So we're going to help so many people.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Anna. That was great. I really appreciate everything that you guys shared with us, with your awesome organizations. I feel like we just got so much information about everything you guys are doing, and I love the energy. It's really, really nice. So thank you guys. We have a few minutes left. Thank you, panelists, for being timely. We can answer a few questions. There were a few that were dropped in the box. Unfortunately, I don't think we have enough time to actually have live questions, but no one raised their hand, so that's okay. If there are any other questions for any of the organizations, feel free to ask them. For those of you who haven't shared, for those of you panelists who haven't shared your contact info, please also write that in the box so that our viewers and those who are attending this can actually get in contact with you. We did have a question for Sabil, and so Samar, if you would like to address this, I know you did mention a little bit in the chat. But the question was about, having victory gardens and seed boxes. Amber Lane asked this question, and whether or not, there are any plans of having community kitchens. If you want to kind of touch upon that, that'd be great. Oh, you're on mute, Summer, so you have to mute yourself.
Mute myself. Okay.
Thank you.
Since we are living in the Anaheim, the Tustin area, and the Santa Ana is a very congested area, so it's really very hard to be able to do any gardens for our community. So at this point, we're still left with the food that we're getting from agricultural support and for packed foods. And as I mentioned in the chat, we are very blessed from the Muslim community that they really put an emphasis on feeding hunger. Feeding hunger is one of the first things that we have to do. So we are getting a lot of support to be able to feed people, both by supporting restaurants to offer food and by having, the food pantry that we do have for them. So it's a great idea, and I think we're going to take it on as an idea for us to do, and even giving our families packages so they can be able to grow their garden in their backyard and in their balconies. So that is a great idea for me. Thank you very much. I think you're on mute.
Marwa, we can't hear you.
Now it's my turn to be mute. And wanted to say that we have come to the end of our session. So thank you, panelists, so much. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. Thank you, MSSA, Imam Hassan. Amin, you were awesome. Thank you, Sabil, Samar Aziz, for everything that you guys are doing in the community. And then Anna and Tanya, you guys are awesome. Thank you for also providing your contact info. Feel free to reach out to any of the panelists here. Islamic Relief USA super appreciates you guys, and we're really honored to be a partner of each one of you guys. And also we thank the Hunger Free Summit. You guys are awesome. We're very honored to be part of this awesome summit. So thank you so much. With that, we'd like to say goodbye and thank you for tuning in.
A huge thank you to all of our speakers for joining and sharing their expertise. Please keep the questions and conversations going in Whova. You can access it at any time by clicking View Session from the agenda. And coming up next for everyone is a panel that showcases how some hunger-free communities have responded during COVID. Look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you so much.